How are we doing today? Um, for whoever's here. Um, I was hoping to have some stuff to be able to make some adjustments today, and it hasn't come in yet. And when it does, I may go ahead and do that uh, during the stream. That's what I said. Some IT stuff or tech stuff, then back to the game. Maybe game, then to the tech. But I may have stuff to help improve the audio so I can have my mic again and be able to talk on it. Um, uh, oh, excuse me. Um, so it should be in today. So hopefully we will. I'll be able to hook it up because it shouldn't take long and make some adjustments. And we'll have much better audio for y'all to hear me with um, going forward. It's not exactly the way I wanted to handle it, but it's going to have to do, and it's a way I am the most familiar with. So let's start with that. By all means, feel free to put any questions, comments, concerns in the chat. Once I do get to that point, let me know. Um, Help me tweak it. Hopefully, y'all can help me tweak the sound, make sure it sounds good. Because the only way I know how to do it is on stream. I don't know how to do it if there is a way to do it without being on stream. Oh, excuse me. I'm so sorry. Oh, blah. Anyway, so there's that. So hopefully I can get this worked out today. Finally, after about a year and a half, 2 years of the audio not being anywhere where it's supposed to be and used to be. And I know that's a key thing, is being able to have the audio right. I'm still missing a part or two that I'm looking to get, but it's got to wait, finances and such, what have you. Um, it's just this stuff kind of fell into my lap, or a key part fell into my lap. So the other two parts were cheap. I mean, $10, I think, for everything else I needed. So hopefully I can get this working today. Um, and go from there. Um, the thing I'm still missing is going to be a mic arm, which I want to get. Hopefully soon. I found one that was super cheap on Facebook. Oh, it was new, and hopefully, I was going to get it back in February, and then did some stupid shit and wasn't able to. So I asked about it yesterday. They have not responded. Hopefully they will soon, and it's still available because it is close. I don't have to drive very far. Um, there's another one that's still kind of cheap, not as cheap as that one, but it's about 30 minutes away, and I don't want to drive that far. But hopefully, I'll at least hear back from it and be able to get that uh, uh, sometime before Sunday or before Saturday. Hopefully, I can get it tonight or tomorrow, and I can have it set up if I stream Saturday on TikTok or not, but definitely for the Sunday stream. Cause I'm sorry, I'm yawning. I'm tired. I haven't slept much the last couple of days. I slept more last night than I did the night before. Cause I only slept 2 hours. Really, the night before. Last night into this morning, I slept probably around 5 hours. So I'm okay, but still kind of tired. Um, Trying to get my sleep schedule adjusted. Um, I didn't do much today. I got up, like I said, I slept like 10. Got up, watched a couple episodes of a TV show I've been trying to catch up on. Uh, oh, she was Blindside. It's been off the air for a couple of years, but I've watched the first two seasons like twice. I finally made it to season 4, so this I've watched season 1 and 2 3 times, and I think I've seen half of season 3, give or take, or a couple of episodes of season 3 before, but I'm at season 4, and there's one more after this one, and if you've seen it, by all means, let me know. Um, if you and we can talk about it because it's an interesting concept. At least the show was. It's getting beyond the well, it should where it's at now should be beyond the initial concept. Oh, but I keep going back to it. If you know, you know. I've taken a 5 hour about 20 minutes ago, so I'm going to be awake, but I'm still yawning, unfortunately. Um, I've also decided I'm going to start writing down a lot of my uh, like my experiences from the first year after I got out of the Marine Corps, at least the first year. Experiences and situations and thoughts that I can recall having, and I'm going to start putting those out. I think on the podcast I've been planning for years that never done anything with. Well, now I'm going to start doing something with it, and that's going to be part of it. And I'm going to, as I do it, I'm going to make a list of what I want, just not just what I want to say, but if I were to ask somebody else, what would I want to hear from them? Like, what was your first week like? What was your first 2 weeks, month? And in that week, what did you do? What were you thinking? What were your plans? And did they evolve over time? And I might ask, actually, I'll probably ask about the 3 months before they get out, the expectations, what was going on. I'm glad I'm recording this because they're newer ideas, and so I can get back to them. Um, I need to get new pens because all my pens have dried out. Um, but what were their expectations? Did they already have plans? Did they have a job lined up? Housing, obviously, all that stuff, and where where did they want to go from there when they got out? And depending on how long they had been in, was it 1 enlistment, 2 enlistment, 3 enlistments, retirement, what have you? It's going to dictate a little change in the flow of the conversation. I'm liking this. Uh, there and so if I have guests, I can ask them these questions, the same things I want to ask myself and talk about. Um, and maybe some people, as they're getting out now, can go and listen and learn from us to have maybe help improve their direction. I've gotten a lot of flies in my house this last week, and it's driving me nuts, and I don't know why. I've got fly traps, and they're hitting it, but there's just so many, and I'm about to lose my shit about this. So I'm gonna go get some more fly traps and stuff, bait and what have you after the stream. Cause yeah, it's a lot and it's driving me nuts. Actually, I think I know why, and I think I fixed the problem. The next problem is they're already here, so trying to get rid of them is going to be a pain because they multiply like nothing else, and it only takes them like what 24 hours to go from egg to fly, if I'm not mistaken, to full fly, if I'm not mistaken. Um, so sorry, the little black spots that are floating around on the screen occasionally because it's a fly going by the camera, which is driving me nuts. Um, I know I'm rambling. I was brainstorming. I wasn't rambling. I was brainstorming. There we go. For those of you who don't know, I was in the United States Marine Corps. There we go. back in '01 to '05, a combat vet, and I want to help other vets. And I've been playing around with this idea for 5 years at least about a podcast. Um, I would like to have another person and have a consistent partner in it, but also be able to talk to other veterans and their families about those experiences and people as they're going through it too, like when they first get out, if they at that point, once they get this thing going. Unfortunately, um, pretty much the only people that I could talk to about mine currently, like that when I was doing that year, is like my dad and one of my best friends. Because my mom's incapacitated, essentially, she probably wouldn't even remember any other friends I had or um, associates or relationships I don't associate with anymore, either by their choice or mine. I gotta keep remembering to look. I have here. I have my main screen that anybody can see, but over here, well, there to you, here to me, is another version in case you're watching on your phone like this instead of like this. And if I turn here, my face is off camera. So here, so let's move that. Maybe I gotta get better positioning of the camera, because I feel like also when I turn here now, while I'm still in frame over there, I'm being blocked by the chat. But over here, now I'm still in frame essentially. So, but I want to be where I can lean on this and I'm out of frame. And I'd like that line to line up more with the center of the screen. Actually, it's pretty good for the center of the screen now that I look at it. On the vertical, it needs to go over here a little bit. So maybe, I don't know. That's, first world problems. Let me get the audio fixed first, because, yeah. And maybe a little bit more accent lighting back there, because I'm going to video all this too. Eventually, I would like to have a more dedicated area for all this where I'm not looking at my computer screen when doing this, but I can have a table with chairs or a place for a desk or something for me and my partner, hopefully my right now girlfriend, because she has other experiences. Um, and I mean, I do have my son's mother who I will probably, because she dealt with me for most of the time after the fact. I mean, I'd been out for about 2 years when I met her, 2 or 3 years, but like we're still friends and we still associate, so she can give a lot of input into those experiences, especially as I didn't start off with PTSD. It became a gradual thing, and her point of view as somebody watching it happen and change, and the change in behaviors for one, not to mention the changes in my general behavior as my mentality changed from military to civilian more at a different pace, whether it be faster or slower, probably faster the farther away I got away from the military. And it's never going to completely change. There's still a lot. Like I said, the alignment of that right there to the screen is going to drive me nuts. Um, and the perfectionist portions of me and what have you. Um, Not to mention the change in habits, the change in my personal relationships with my friends, or the growth and inclusion of new friends and relationships, and the loss of some others. that may have happened too. Um, Sorry, I had therapy today, so I'm kind of talkative. Um, and Now that I'm brainstorming and I'm actually recording, so I can go back to reference this later. I'm liking this. Um, in case somebody decides to come in that wants to listen, or I really wouldn't mind, especially once I get the audio fixed and some of this other minor stuff fixed, having somebody audit my streams, um, to see how I can improve it, how to grow it, because not only can I grow this stream, but hopefully it'll also carry over into other endeavors with this, like marketing for my podcast and some of the other stuff, like the audio book I just did, and people wanting to do it just because I was involved. People want to listen to it because I was involved, and how I can. Sorry, I'm checking to see if. Nope. Uh, because like my therapist, he bought the audio book just because I was involved. Um, and apparently he likes it. He doesn't know why he's so hooked on it. I said because it's a little different. I mean, it's a post-Civil War Western. I'm not going to say horror romance, but I mean there are some horror elements right now. It's going to grow as the books go by. If we do more, hopefully we will. I will do my part, the part that she would require, the author. Um, from me to help her, whether it be help her remember what the storyline or with the dialogue, because I did that a little with this book, like 2 or 3 lines. Hey, he wouldn't say this. I think he would say this would be more like what he would say, or try this instead. But no major changes because she's as familiar with it as I am, almost as familiar with the character as I am. Um, Excuse me 1 second, I'm checking some stuff. Um, but in case anybody comes, uh, but I completely lost my train of thought. And even now, a lot of the connections I have, especially with other veterans, and how quickly they develop over with civilians, or civilians who do not have a lot of experience with uh, military or veterans, because those are 3 different things and 3 different uh, developments. Honestly, my a connection you get with other veterans, especially depending on the branch, because it does vary, um, versus a connection in how fast you can grow a relationship of some sort with a civilian who either had a sibling or a parent or maybe even a previous relationship with somebody that was enlisted or a veteran, versus somebody who has no relations really whatsoever, or no meaningful relationship in the past with a veteran or service member. and the differences uh, between those relationships and those growths. Because like when I was door dashing, I delivered to a guy. I was delivering some Red's apple cider or whatever it was. Apparently, it was for his girlfriend or wife. He opens the garage as I'm walking up the driveway, and said I knew thought I saw headlights, blah blah blah. And as the garage door comes open all the way, he's got a Marine Corps flag, American flag, and a unit flag hanging on the wall, right, like just like this on the wall. And I'm like, oh, and I even said this, well, oh hell. And he was like, what? And he's all kind of worried. And I'm like, um, just saw the flags. And he's like, oh, okay. So I show him my little moto tat. He shows me his, which is, uh, it was on this arm for him with his MOS, and he was infantry like me. And it, like that. I mean, handshake, hug, how you doing, brother, da 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 da, which is just how it happens, especially with Marines. I mean, you want a beer? I was like, no, I'm driving, thank you. Um, he's like, yeah, but gotta ask, uh, talk for a few minutes, explain, you know, and it was like we had been friends for a while. They just hadn't seen each other in a while. All of a sudden, and versus, oh, you're in the Air Force. How you doing? Da da da. I was in the Marine Corps, and talking, and we could still relate by some of our experiences and training and what have you. Maybe not Air Force, maybe region, maybe Navy and Army, but anyway, sorry. But versus a civilian with military experience, and depending on the level, like their parents are vet, but they weren't enlisted while their kids were alive, versus their parents are vets and they were enlisted while their kids were alive, versus I you know I had a boyfriend or a girlfriend that was enlisted, which is actually part of my thing with my girlfriend. She had a guy she dated a long time ago, that was a Marine, so it comes up obviously, and it's hard to talk about for her, versus uh, like my stepmother. My dad's an Army vet. My stepmother, her dad was a Army Air Corps vet from World War II, so Air Force, before it was the Air Force. My mom, the closest thing to military involvement my family had that I know of on my mom's side, besides me, was her youngest brother, Donald, who joined the Marine Corps back in the 80s. Um, but neither of my grandparents were military. I don't think any of their parents were. Well, we're not going to get into that because that whole family relationship gets convoluted. I don't even know it all. Because my grandma was actually raised by her grandparents. Don't ask me what happened to her parents. I have no idea. Um, my grandfather, I've never really heard him talk about his parents. I know his side of the family a little more, or did, but anyway. See, ADD, and the 5 hours started to kick in. Um, so she had no experience beyond dealing with my father, who was, I think, might have been in the National Guard at that point, um, when they were married. But my dad was also a cop, so having that same "is he gonna come home tonight" mentality is gonna be there. But versus a lot of the women I dated who had no experience with military or veterans, um, before I joined, I'm saying, and then afterward, uh, those one or two that I dated a little bit who had no experience with that really, and it's each one that develops different, a lot different. There are key markers there that are there with some that aren't with others. Um, Here I am rambling and not putting this out to the people that I know might want to see it. Not to mention I've had some good relationships grow really fast, not in, with somebody who wasn't a veteran, but he did want to enlist, but had various reasons why he couldn't, or they couldn't. And he's one of my best friends. So, now I'm sputtering out of ideas. So, sorry about that. I was, I streamed for years until last July when I stopped because I moved and wanted to get fairly settled in before I started. So I started back at the beginning of this year, and trying to rebuild that community is not happening very well. Um, I occasionally have one of my usuals come in, which is great. I'm never going to complain about them being here. Um, but there's a lot that used to come in here that don't anymore, and I need to be more active on the socials about it for one, or Discords, and I really need to clean out my Discord list. I have like a lot that I don't really associate or engage with. So I may do that over the next couple of days too. Um, I want to do more chattings like this, but obviously with people in the chat to hear me and ask questions, talk to me about it, or whatever. Um, Maybe do some reacts to videos at some point. I don't know. I want to mix it up. I don't want to just play games all the time. I enjoy it. It helps me relax. But I do want to grow this more because it started and I had an average of about 5 viewers, which to me is phenomenal. I will never complain. Um, but if I can reach somebody, especially with my kind of experiences, and help them get through something, especially as a veteran with other veterans, but anybody, because at the core, a lot of problems have the same core issue that can help be resolved or addressed by somebody that's done it or been there or what have you. I mean, granted, my experience with PTSD will be so different from another vet's, but especially from a DV survivor. Um, but there's certain things that can still be discussed without being too invasive, I think, that might can help alleviate some of that. Or at least I can help advise them. You might want to go see a professional, and it's not that you're crazy, but they can help you get out of this dark place. Um, or get away from your self-destructive tendencies, or what have you. Sorry, deep thought, but I can't voice it on here. Um, ow. Anyway, let me check, make sure my stuff hasn't been delivered. Not apparently. Oh, goody, he's one street over, or two streets over that way. That way. So 10 stops. So here, I'll probably keep an eye on it for when they deliver it. Take a quick break, hook the shit up, and start working um, to see if we can improve the quality. Had Subway for dinner, and had Subway I think once since I moved out here, and uh, yeah. And I have so much honestly that I can do just to help increase the production value, lights and audio soon and what have you. Um, it's just the knowledge and the how to and the time too that has been my issue. I'm hesitant to use certain things because this isn't my house. If you'd seen my setup at my old house, had a lot more going on because I wasn't afraid to put a nail in the wall or screw or stick rope lights or light strips up. Um, which I don't know. I'm not really scared of that. I just don't want to use it and then have to take it down and it go to waste. You know. So probably in June-ish, when if I'm settled in better and having a job or at least some form of income, improved income, I might start doing that stuff. Especially like right here, this opening here. I'll show you when I'll change cameras. For some reason, my Stream Deck isn't doing the commands it should, but like running it there, maybe putting a sound blanket there to help keep the sound from when my son's playing and I can mute it. Um, but give it some accent lighting and maybe more behind me back here or around that opening there, which is a door, and another audio sound blanket to help dampen the noise from when my son plays. Um, and later the kids. And I still can't get a hold of anybody from Kick. I sent an email from my primary personal email about help, and they responded, please email us from the account from the email that you have registered to an account. Went to that one, nothing. And that first one came back within minutes. I've been waiting for 2 or 3 weeks, and nothing. So I can't log into my Kick account, and it kicked me out on the stream software, so now I'm not even streaming on it. So I can't grow it. I can't reach people. That's why it says 0, because it doesn't know it. I was at like 5. It's not connected, so it doesn't know where it's supposed to be. Hell, I may also try to set up and do something like this or TikTok live maybe while recording later. Not anytime soon, but sometime in the future. For those, because I've been getting messages from a friend here and there interested in getting into audio work, and so they can see what it's really like and about and what has you. Um, Sorry, I don't know who that is, so somebody want to be friends on Snapchat. I only use Snapchat to talk to my girlfriend. Um, I don't want to meet random people. You know, she's the only one I want to know. Well, I wouldn't mind having other actual friends, but I'm not going to meet them randomly on Snapchat. Like, I've met some really good friends on TikTok. Um, there we go. I forgot I have that right out the window there. I need to do it with the other camera too. But I've made some really good friends on TikTok. I've met them in real life, like Euphorics or hell, my girlfriend. That's how we met. Um, I've met. I haven't met Cynical in real life yet. Hopefully, I will one day. He only lives an hour from here. Um, but it's not like we're good friends. We've talked a couple of times. I go in his streams. He come in mine before. He helped me out when I was in trouble. Um, but maybe one day he'll be like, "Hey man, I'm coming down to your area. Want to have lunch, hang out, something?" And maybe he's waiting for me to initiate it. I don't know. I feel kind of weird doing all that shit. Um, Going, "Hey man, I'm gonna be up in your area for whatever reason because I don't know why I'd be up in his area or anybody's." Like, Euphorics was a planned trip for other reasons when I met her in real life, so it was expected. Um, I had a business trip I was going to be on and about 30 minutes away from her. Went and hang out with her. Um, and my girlfriend, when I met her for the first time in real life, that was a whole different story. She kind of made an offhand comment about me coming out for her birthday, so I did. And she didn't believe it until I sent her a copy of the plane ticket. I wish she was on so I could see her in the chat about that because we were already nervous if we were to ever really meet, and but excited, and that just kicked it into overdrive. And then as it got closer and closer to that time, especially the day of, because I flew out so early in the morning on my end, um, and got here, and I forgot that the oh to tell her that uh or I didn't realize that there was no, that's when I realized there was no daylight savings time here is because she was an hour off because daylight savings time had changed like the weekend before, and so she was a little late. I didn't care. Gave me a chance to sit outside, stretch my legs, smoke a cigarette, and we had always talked about these different scenarios and what she was hoping, or I was hoping would happen versus what actually happened. You know, her parking being standing there waiting at like baggage claim, which I didn't have a bag. I just had my backpack. But it's somewhere standing already waiting on me versus her pulling up in the car and me jumping in. But it's still cute. It's still great. I wouldn't change it for the world. It was so perfect. Um, then when I came out a year later, and I came out since then, but when I came out a year later, she was waiting for me that time. When I came out prior to that, I came in on New Year's for New Year's. Came in the night before New Year's Eve, rented a truck, went to my hotel, got up that next morning, went and dropped the rose off on her car because she was at my hotel was about right in the middle from her work to her mom's house where she was living, and that was only 3 miles difference. So I was about a mile from either or. So I turned off my locations, went over, dropped the rose on her on the window of her car, and as I was pulling back into the parking lot, she noticed that my locations were off. I was asking where I was, so I'm like, I'm at the hotel. So luckily, I was actually back, so I could take pictures. But she knew it was me. I think that's why she looked, is because she went on lunch because it was New Year's Eve, like right then, and they went ahead and let him go for the day. So she saw that and messaged me because she knew it was me. So she turned off her locations and showed up at the hotel. And then that night she went back home to be with her parents and her kid and her soon-to-be ex-husband, and asked me to come over, even though I couldn't come in or anything. So I stood outside and we stood 50 feet apart for hours just talking on the phone, so not to make too much noise until midnight. Midnight in Georgia, which was 10 o'clock here. So we would be there for New Year's. And I'm just rambling about anything, but like I said, I want to do more chattings and talking with people. Um, or video reacts if people start sending them to me. Hey, you know, how do I do that? Jump in the Discord. There's a room for it. Not yet, but there will be as this moves up. And obviously things are going to grow and change as my life grows and changes over the future. Because like me and my girlfriend talk about streaming together. She mainly wants to go on TikTok because that's what she knows. That's where a lot of her fan base, her friends, and are. And I'm good with that. That's where most of mine was for a long time. I lost a lot of it when my account got hacked back in September. And when I get a job, I'm honestly contemplating paying somebody to get it back for me because I like that account. I had a lot of friends through that account. I've gone through to find my following list or followers list to find some of those people again, but it's not the same. Plus, a lot of the content I had on there, I'm gonna have to delete a lot of their content because it's all AI made TikTok shop videos, which annoys the piss out of me. It's not like I had thousands upon thousands upon thousands of viewers. I had 5,000 followers, just shy of 6. um, Anybody who watches this on YouTube, by all means, come find me on Kick, and will help anywhere there. Kick, TikTok, Twitch, Facebook, Instagram. Oh, is my nope, my Insta isn't on there. I don't have a gaming Insta, it's a business Insta. Um, if I get to, or my personal. Anybody on Twitch, do the same thing. Anybody, when I get my kick back, when I get logged back into kick, find me on all those things. I sound like I'm about to log in the stream, and I'm not. I'm about to take a break here in a few minutes because he's almost here, or she, they, whatever. And I can take a quick break, grab my stuff, take a cigarette, come back in and set the stuff up. Shouldn't take long. Um, I'll probably get Jack to help me since he's here and he can listen to it once I set it up and help me adjust the volumes and everything. But like right now, I'd be too far away from where I want it to be for it to make sense. That's why I want that arm. So when I set it up, I'm going to set it up at a certain distance, and then we can maintain that with the arm, depending on if I'm leaning back here, I can move it out. As I move up to the desk, I can pull it back or turn it for when I'm gaming over there. See, I got a new interface like I use for my audiobook narration, like exact same one. It was uber cheap. I couldn't help but do it because I know how to use it. I wanted to get that newer Stream Deck that has little knobs at the bottom and then has the docking station you can put on the back. But you can't find that docking station anymore. There was one on Facebook Marketplace and it was still like 150 bucks. Excuse me, I will be back. I'm gonna take that break now. in the back. So anyway, so I know there's stuff I could have been doing already when it came to this, and I should have, and I thought about it. Or I could have had done already, and I should have, and I thought about it, but I didn't. But it's only going to take a minute to set up. That stuff. That's the only thing is if when I start the podcast, I want to get another mic or several. And if I get several on the new input, because my inputs only take 2 mics. Excuse me one second, I'm gonna clean this off. I had tried using my lavalier mics at one point, and it wouldn't recognize it. I didn't try too hard. I could have probably spent time with it off camera trying to figure it out. But I also didn't want to walk around with a lavalier mic and like forget about it and take a break, go take a pee, and y'all can hear it. Even though I have the audio turned off when I take a break. But I know me, I might just, I'll be right back and run off and do something stupid. And the next thing I know, y'all hear everything. See, right now, the only stand I have is actually for a bass drum pedal, or mic. Which, I mean, it's fine, but it's still going to sit far back. It needs to be like here. But hopefully I can have that fixed. Like I said, with that arm. So now, yes, that works. Hi, beautiful. How are you tonight? Jumping up and down? I want to see that. Actually, I just want to see you jumping in my arms, but that'll work too. Good, I'm glad you're getting better. I hate when you don't feel well. Um, oh, nice. I've been thinking about stuff like that because, I've seen a lot of recipes through like Liam or some of the other food creators I follow. Um, I've just been sitting here for like the better part of an hour just talking. That's just talking. Uh, there we go. About like my podcast ideas. Well, just like talking out loud. And since this records, I can come back and watch it and jot down notes later about different ideas I've had and that come up to me with that I come up with while talking about it. To to come back to because I mean it's stuff I've been like the podcast I've been batting around for like 5 years and I've just never done anything with it and now I kind of want to really get to that. Yeah, and see, I used to do it. I would do voice to text with like my Word on my phone. Like say if I'm driving and something starts turning to me, I just open Microsoft Word and start voice to texting it. Um, and I had stuff like that, like about stories for like the book that I did the audio for, um, and what have, and or the background or what have you. But I'm glad you're feeling better. I miss you. I love when you come in here and join the conversation for a little bit. Really? Hopefully it means he's gonna just pass out tonight, you know? Yeah. Excuse me 1 second. Oh. I had something kind of fall into my lap that I'm adding to this um, to help with the audio, actually, where I'm talking. So I just got here. Oh, there we go. There's that. Now, for the other portion. So what did you wake up? Well, you were probably still what kind of awake at that, weren't you? Of course, duos tonight. Um, say around 9 or 10. Your call. Earlier the better. Oh, text me or call me as soon. Are you gonna start putting in I don't know what time you're gonna put him to bed, so let me know when you put him to bed, and if I'm not here, I will head home. Um, yes, because I mean I might go dash for a little bit, but I may not, and I may just wait till later tonight, or I may not at all because I still haven't slept much. I slept more yesterday. I slept like 5 hours, but I'm still effing tired. So I'll probably just be here. I might take a nap. um, oh, okay, yeah. I thought you meant gaming. Well, that would be both, technically. I love you. Um, go get your dinner ready. No conceited or so conceited. I love you too, baby. Now let's see. You're still there, real quick. I want to see if the audio's any better. Hey, kiddo. Damn it. Stop it. Excuse me a second. Come here when you get a second. Great. Let me know when you're ready.
It won't open it. It doesn't send me like YouTube or something.
What?
It won't send me to have YouTube. Can you open it on your phone? I can just use it there. Sorry.
Here. Just walk in there
Yep.
and let's see how it sounds. I need to make some adjustments to the height. It's too high, but hopefully there's like a couple of different options for inputs with this. I want to make sure I got it on the right one.
It sounds. Is it on?
Yeah, why?
Sounds good.
Hang on. What about this?
Sounds the exact same.
Okay. Cool. Then we're going to go with that. How about now?
That's better.
Yeah, it had two, for some reason there's two inputs showing for that. I needed to mute one.
You need the directing dash switch though.
I know. That's why I want to get that arm.
Okay.
But I'm waiting for that guy to get back with me.
That's good.
What about now?
Oh, say something again.
What?
Say something again.
I am saying something.
They all sound mostly the exact same.
Okay, that's what I need to know. So, default input. this one does.
Yeah, maybe like go right here. Nope, never mind.
Hang on.
Just that you were looked away from the mic.
Okay. And see, that's why I want to get that arm that I'm waiting to hear back from that guy.
Okay.
So when I'm here, I can have it closer. When I turn over here, I can adjust it to such. Or if I'm streaming from the other chair, I can move it out to that.
Okay.
And we can put this back in the office or the booth
Okay.
since it's not going to be in use anymore.
Well, is that it?
I believe so. I just got to be able to loosen this so I can lower it because I over-tightened it.
Huh. How is it I was doing it right here and yet you still did the wrong hand?
Because I'm right-handed.
Okay.
That's my default hand. Thank you, Bubba.
I am as well, and yet I still use my left. Hell, I use my left to hold my phone most of the time.
Hang on. Didn't mean to do that. Hi, Cam. Does this sound better than it used to? you can hear me. It's not too it's not too quiet like people were saying it was. Because like I could always hear it fine on my phone. Other people couldn't hear it hardly at all. So I want to, and I think you're one of the ones that said it wasn't, you couldn't hear it very good. So, because I got a new interface, like I use for my audiobooks, exact same one. Um, I'm softer, or am I still intelligible, loud enough? The volume's high enough up there. Um, because I can't listen to it or it'll just start echoing and echoing and echoing, and I already could hear it originally. Okay, you can hear me better. I still probably want to adjust. I'm going to add some filters to help get rid of like the echo and such, but I just want to make sure that people could hear me now. See, that's what I need to know. So I need to see. How about now? Because there's a control. Oh yeah, that's a lot higher on the box too. And I just maxed it out. It was only like 3 clicks, but on that box, it makes a whole lot of difference. I'm assuming that it has changed with those eyes. How about now? Now. How about now? Is that better? And it's going to change again because the mount I have for it is static. Okay. And the mount I have is static. I'm going to get one of those movable arms. So it's right now it's that far from me. When I get done, it should be about that far from me. I'm just waiting to. I got the interface off of Facebook Marketplace. The guy used it like 3 times. Didn't like how it interfaced with his software, but it works with my stuff just fine. So I got it for $40 versus the $190 it would normally cost. And I've already had mics and stuff like that. So I ordered new cables and that came in today too. I'm just waiting because somebody else had one of those mic arms that can move. And I'd prefer to get the Elgato because it has the sleeve for the cable, so it stays out of the way. But I can always, if not, I can just zip tie it. But somebody locally had it for like $50 or $40 versus whatever it is normally new. So I messaged him back in February. He still had them. Messaged him yesterday saying, hey, something happened. I was tied up. I wasn't able to get to it. Are they still available? And as of the start of the stream, he hadn't answered. So it's been over 24 hours. I don't know. And you know, some people never update their sales status. Like the guy I bought that from yesterday has still not updated the fact that it's sold. But if that's better, I'm glad. Because like I said, like when Hopi would come in here, matter of fact, I'm going to see. Do you know if she's available? Because she was the main one that would complain. Also, I just messaged her through the Discord. Also, did you listen to the whole book? How was it? Did I do okay? Is there anything to improve on? Or from what you've already listened to, is there anything that I can improve on? I mean, if she's busy, she's busy. I know Ivy also said I was too soft, so I just texted her if she had a minute to come check. Okay. She's out for a walk with her dog. You did? Okay. I know she was one that said she couldn't hear me, and Ivy. And Ivy's out for a walk with her dog, and she's going to check when she gets back. Because those were the main people. But did you hear my question? I know you were listening to it. How did I do? Is there any improvements? Any complaints about the audiobook? You finished what? Telling me? I didn't see anything. Hi, Hope. Thank you for coming in. I got to that new equipment I've been wanting to do, well, something akin to what I wanted. It's actually more professional, so hopefully this helps a lot better. There's one or two other things I'm going to add, which is going to be where I can move the mic because it's on a static stand. I want to get the movable arm, but does it sound better? Can you hear me better than you had been able to? Really? I still sound quiet to you. Then there's something going on because like I said, I could always hear me. I could hear me on Jack's phone just fine. Ivy's going to come in because she was another one who said that. Um, and I'm nearly, I maxed it out, and Cam told me to dial it back because it got too loud. So I don't know. Um, that's weird. Yeah, that's the mic. Okay, good. At least it's an improvement at that for that. Um, I don't know then. I don't know what to do because some people say they can, some people say they can't. I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong. When I get the arm, it's going to be instead of that far away, which is what it's at now. There we go. Well, you know, there. Anyway, it's going to be about that far. So that'll help a lot more. Well, now it's even farther away. But I'm just waiting to hear. I mean, it might be, but it'd have to be on your end because other people on Twitch could hear me fine. Yeah. But let's see what Ivy says. I mean, if you're playing a game, that's fine. I will update you what she says. And then if she says it's still something that is still soft, it might be. Yeah, I would still check your volume because you have your phone volume, but I think there's also a volume control for Twitch. I know there is on PC, on the browser. I don't know about. I'll have to look for the app because I'll have people up on Twitch, but I'll have their volume turned down. And if you look at the base of the picture, there's a volume bar down there that you can adjust for the volume of that particular streamer. Huh. See, that changes the dynamic because then it wouldn't be. I mean, it still might be a Twitch thing, but then I don't know. I will Google and search and see what I could find. Hmm. Because eventually it'll be about here consistently and more or less in front, so you should be able to hear it more directly. Okay, well that's good. Any critiques? Did I do okay? Is there anything I could do better, or the other could do better, or what have you on the audiobook? I asked Cam, and I guess she's writing a novel, or she's texting me. I don't know about it. I hope I did okay. Um, I know the music I need to adjust a little bit because it's hard to hear at the very beginning of chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4. So I need to bring that down a little bit, and that's one thing. I need to adjust that music down because I'll probably use the same music for the next 2 books if there is a next 2. There's supposed to be. And if I read correctly, I'm actually going to be helping her write that one. So there's that. Taking a guy who's never been an author or wrote anything worthwhile except for love letters or love texts in their life. But it's my character, so and the story I know, it was from the tabletop RPG, is what book 2 is. So yeah, I mean, I should be able to do okay as long as I follow her lead on what's going on. You know, hey, we start here. I want it to end here. Okay, and I fill in the blanks. She hinted at that. I'll probably call her later today or tomorrow and ask her if that's what she wants to do when she gets to it. I'm glad you like it. Because I'm recording another one, but it's going to be put out by Bob. It was actually supposed to come out years ago, but I was fucked up so many times. Rather than doing pickup lines, I just started re-recording the whole thing clean. Especially once I got this one finished. So I'm going to just have it clean, have it edited, have it ready to go. Say, hey, here you go, Bob, and he can listen to it. Make sure there's nothing wrong. He'll pass it to AJ. She'll listen to it to make sure there's nothing wrong. And if you're curious, it's going to be brother to brother that I'm doing. I'm doing Archer on that one. I'm also supposed to do Blue in book 3 or 4. That was actually the one that initially I was supposed to do, but people dropped out, so I picked up others. So we'll see when we get there. I have yet to play a game today. I've been waiting for a delivery so I could set this up. So I've been rambling about different stuff like the podcast I want to do, or some things that have happened recently, or this, that, and the other. But I'm glad because it has allowed me to record some of the ideas I had and some that I came up with while talking. So I want to do more just chatting. I don't want to just play games. It's just ever since I started back streaming, you know, I just been playing games. But it's allowed me to record some of these ideas so I can go back, watch the first hour, jot them down when I get the time to be able to put a better format to the podcast specifically, and help me develop it further for when I start it. Because for one, I'm going to start out with, of course, introduction to myself, yada, yada, yada. Hopefully I'll have a partner, i.e. maybe my girlfriend or another veteran or both. But after that, if I have guests of other veterans, I'm going to ask them the same things I said about myself. You know, what were your expectations 3 months, 2 months, 1 month before you got out of the military? Did it change for after you got out? Stuff like that, and how they dealt with like their first year out of the military. So maybe other people about to get out can hear this and listen. Okay. So there was some portions where the editing, I know, kind of made it stutter because trying to cut off a word because it went into another word, there was no space. It was really difficult, so I did the best I could. That's on us as the reader, for one, needing to pace it better. And doing it several times. So I can, if anybody about to transition or thinking about getting out of the military happens to listen, and might give them ideas on actual expectations, or help adjust their expectations, give them better ideas on what to do or want to do or whatever, for one. I mean, it's not meant to be instructional, but at the same time it is. Plus, we'll get into other things, but like the initial portion. Okay. That's fair. That's good to know that you only know this because you know us, because you've talked to us. That make my therapist bought it and is listening to it apparently on his drive to and from his radiation treatments. He told me today. He listened to it as of last Thursday. He had listened to like the opening, and he says he doesn't know why, but he's hooked. He's got plenty of others he needs to listen to. He started this one, and it's just different, and it's got him hooked, which makes me feel good. What's funny is Thursday when he told me he listened to the opening, he goes, "Man," and this is an older black guy, "you've got a deep voice." And I'm like, "Yeah, I told you when I talk to you here, this is not the same voice I use. It's not my normal voice." I know I was just talking about that. It was actually louder. I toned the music down. It's just the way the control is and trying to get the fade right and where it fades. I know I need to adjust it. I still got the original track. I'm going to adjust where the fade starts earlier and draws out longer, if that makes sense. And I'll probably, but keep in mind there's also a decibel requirement for audible. So it's weird. There's certain settings that have to be met, and the fade has to be right, or it will make me adjust it. Oh, you don't like it? Okay. Uh, I was worried about that. That was a me call. I thought it was something, but I was also thinking maybe just at the opening and the closing of the book too. So I may do that next time. It was just something I was trying. You keep in mind, my first production, it was an experiment. So yeah, I'll probably get rid of it next time and just put it at the beginning of the book and the end of the book. And I mean beginning like the title page and introduction, not the actual story portion. And then the end as in the credits and all that stuff. Because that's actually how I've heard it most of the time in any kind of. Okay. And like I said, most audiobooks I've heard that have any kind of music is normally at the beginning and end. Um, Unless it's in parts, if that makes sense. They'll have book one, part one, where it covers a certain portion, and then part two covers a certain portion. Not chapters. They'll have chapters in the parts. Um, hey, Crow. If I was doing anything like that, I might put it between the parts also, but that would still keep it down a lot. So, thank you for the input. I will keep that. I will take that into. And like I said, if it's in the parts, it'll be the short one. Where it's just like right way lower in the background. So it'll be like the 10-second version, which is the opening one, the one that opens the chapters. Da 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 part one, or maybe even a shorter version. Okay, I got you. Like I said, I'll keep it to the openings and the closings of the book, not the chapters. When I did it, I thought it might be a little much, but I still left it in there to get other people's input. So, and nothing right this second. This was the one I just put out. We're talking about. I'm re-recording one that I did a while back, but never got. There were so many errors. I just rather than do the individual lines. What what I'm missing at something. Where? I don't see anything. That's weird. So I'm looking at my stream, I don't see it. At my Twitch manager, I don't see it. YouTube, I don't see it, which I didn't. If it's supposed to show up in chat, so that means I need to adjust something. Thank you. Let me see. The fact I'm not seeing it in the chat, I need to fix. That I'm not seeing in my chat. So that's something I need to look into with the software, because it should be there. Well, I'm glad I got the audio situation adjusted. Crow, I got a new audio addition that hopefully sounds a lot better and will be a lot better when I get the one piece I'm missing, which is the adjustable arm. So that it'll be here rather than here. It's a mic I've had, I just haven't used yet, or maybe I just haven't used it in a while. But a new input that I've been needing to get to be able to use it. It's the same thing I use for my audiobook recordings, exact same input. I wanted a different one, but this one fell in my lap for almost 25% of the normal price, and it was local, so I grabbed it yesterday, bought new cables for it, had the mic. All I need now is the adjustable arm, so I can move it depending on what I'm doing, because like I said, right now it's that far away from me, and it should only be about that far away from me. It should be about here. You texted me a few days? Did I miss it? I don't have anything from you since you got the book. The last thing I have is that you were playing it now while talking to Hope in Discord about the audiobook. Yeah. (4/16/2023). I think you're off by about 3 years. But the last thing I have is, and you're definitely in for it now, but because we both got the book, I said LOL, and you said, and mine is playing now while talking to Hope in Discord. Is that what you're referring to? Because that's the last thing I have. Are you talking about the song and the link? Okay. I'll have to rewatch it. I don't remember. Hang on. I mean, it's a good song. I'll have to think about that. If that's how I see you, I figured. Matter of fact, I need to get with him again about music for the podcast and other shit. Another one for something else I'm working on. A dramatic or a dramatic comedy thing, which I may have told you about. That we've been working on for years. I re-recorded most of the lines before I moved, and I'm going to start putting that together now. So I'll need some background music for like the scenes that are taking place in the inn, where they had a performer in the main dining area and they're in a different room, but you could still kind of hear it in the background. So excuse me. Oh Lord, let's see. Matter of fact, when I get done here, I'll either take a nap because I haven't been sleeping much, or I'm gonna go record another chapter for that other audio book I'm working on, and so I can get it to Bob so they can get that published, because it's been held up because of me. I made a lot of errors. He handed me things to fix, and I got to it some, but I decided I'd rather just re-record it for better audio continuity. Because, yeah. Oh. I hope this guy gets back to me. So hopefully with that one other thing I'm trying to get a hold of, it will help even more with the sound. So people can hear me better as I move shit. Let me take a look. How much is that brand new? I really need to clean out my email. Yeah, Georgia has pissed me off also. I paid my ticket. That got my license suspended. I paid the court and the failure to appear fine. Got pulled over this weekend. My license is still suspended. Apparently now I have to pay Georgia DDS, Department of Driver Services, $100 to get it reinstated. I have never ever had to do that before. Now keep in mind, it's been a while since I've had to do it, but still. Yeah, that mic arm new on Amazon is $100 or more. So yeah, I will see if I can get a hold of that guy, depending on which one it is. Because the low pro premium is $99.99. The full whatever 360 rotatable is $179. And if I'm getting that one for $179 for $50, yeah, I'm definitely gonna get it. I just need him to answer me. Hi, Ivy. Welcome in. Thank you for coming in. Hopefully, does this sound better to you? Because I know at one point you were having a problem hearing me, and I'm trying to make sure, and it's gonna get a little bit better. Hello. Good. Now, let me do something. How about now? I tweaked something. Is that even better? But also, once I get the part I want, it's going to be about here fairly consistently, so you probably will hear me a lot better at that point too. Okay. I can control. I was controlling the input volume. I will put it up one click. But yeah, once I get that mic arm, it should stay right around here moving forward. So it's just this is a static mount. It's actually for a mic for a bass drum on the floor. Uh, so hopefully I'll be able to get that before the weekend's over, and I can. I'll be able to move it from when I'm talking here to when I'm looking over at that screen or the console, and be able to keep some consistency of the distance from me to be in better sound quality in the long run. We're gonna start a vote on what ice cream does Crow get from DQ? The dip cone. Then you have the strawberry cheesecake. In the mint. 3, 5, 4, sorry. Yeah, mint chocolate chip is my favorite too. That or butter pecan. I just messaged. Okay, good and bad-ish. Uh-oh. Go ahead. What you got? Okay, that's very good. Where's the bad? The hospital bill for it or the vet bill for it? What? Is it filtering your comment? Hang on. I'm not getting any alerts. Hang on, let me check something else. You're a mod, it shouldn't stop you. Try it again. I have, like, no restrictions. At least I don't think so. Hang on. Settings. Like, the only moderation is who can talk. Like, they need to be verified with an email or phone, or both. But, like, auto mod, it's like harassment is a 1. Discrimination and slurs is a 1. Profanity and sexual content is a 0. Yeah, it's expensive. I actually need to flush the transmission on mine. Oh, you used tranny, didn't you? So that's a yes, you did. I've been needing to flush the transmission on mine for a long time, and yeah, it's expensive. It was close to, I want to say $1,200 for the flush,
Hey, now try this.
and that's uh,
Good, ain't it? Even without seasoning.
um, I was at a shop I knew the manager, but that was probably because I knew the manager. I used to work there. He didn't like me. Well, at a different location. I was his assistant. We got along fine at this point because that was 20 years ago or 16 years ago. But yeah, the transmission work on that is expensive because it's a sealed transmission because you have the same truck I do. And most of them have been sealed for a couple of years, so you can't just drain and fill it from the top, or you have to actually hook a special machine up to the coolant line, the transmission cooler lines, which pushes the old fluid out with fresh fluid, and change the filter. Which means you do the flush first, in theory, to get all the old shit out, and any bad stuff caught in that filter. Drop the filter, put a new filter in, and then you have to put more fluid back in. So yeah, it gets kind of expensive. I just want to be able to either do a filter change personally, and that's it. Because Fords are notorious that if you don't do the transmission service by a certain mileage point, most shops won't touch it. I think it's if you have it done at least a service by 75,000 miles. After that, they won't touch it because it can cause problems with Fords. I've never had it happen. I've done it plenty of times after that mileage, but I'm also a mechanic, and I know what or I was a mechanic. I knew what I was doing. Yeah, not surprising. So yeah, I when I can, I'm gonna try to get it flushed. Or the key thing is with if you do it after that, you just change the filter first. So you get rid of a lot of the bad stuff and some of the bad fluid, and you get some fresh fluid in. Run it for a while. Do it one more time. If it doesn't fuck it up, then you can do a flush and filter change. So 3 filter changes in all. And that's how I prefer to do it with this one. But because of the nature of it, with it being a silk transmission, if I was in a shop, I could do it that way, because normally you just put fluid back through the dipstick tube. There's not a dipstick tube. That's why it's called a sealed transmission. There's a fill hole on the side of the transmission that you can't see. You have to pull it out and be able to have a hose to run up there and pump it in, which makes it a pain to do it at home. If I was at home, I could do it. I have all the equipment there. Probably. It's easy to look at them and see. They go into on one side or the other of the transmission tank, the plastic piece. The thing is, it's a metal line that goes in the top and comes out the bottom. And on a good one, you'll have it on each side, because you'll have one that's your transmission and one that's your engine oil cooler. And typically the transmission will be on the passenger side. I mean, like literally, it's right there. You can look down and see it, at least the top one. Hang on. Y'all have the 5.0, correct? You have the V8, right? Okay, I think you told me you had the V8. Oh, this one, actually no, I think this one has the external transmission cooler. Because I think mine does too. I need to go look now that I think about it. Yeah, no. Yeah, I think this is a. Hi, Esme. Yeah, I think that one has a external. It's not on those. A lot of most vehicles, especially four-wheel drives, have an independent one. Um, and yeah, that's going to be underneath the vehicle and harder to see. It, so never mind. Um, if y'all don't mind, give me a minute. I'm going to step away, take a break, have a cigarette. I will be back in a few minutes. Okay? Thank you. I will be right back. Oops. There we go. I'm back. Uh, well, I guess this stream has turned into a just chatting. Because I'm about to end it anyway. I just realized. Or do one of the things that will keep that from happening. That will allow you to still do it, but will prevent it. Because, yeah, I'm not stopping what causes it. Not the actions. Nightbot just said you're old, Esme. Well then. That was entertaining. That was definitely different. Yeah. Should have been. Who, me? As my girlfriend? Well then. I'm trying to catch up to the conversation. I'm assuming you're saying your third child is the same age as my girlfriend. I'm muted. I said, I'm assuming you're trying to say that your third child is the same age as my girlfriend, which is weird. Oh. Okay. See, like I said. Okay. See, trying to catch up, like I said. So I was gonna say you had to be like 8 when she was born. Well, I just messaged the other guy who has the thing that the mic arm I want. It's just that he wants it for. That's my first drink. $20 more, and he's like 30 minutes away. But I'd really like to get that mic arm before Sunday. The sooner the better. Because I'm not going to buy one new, not for the prices they are right now. not with my finances. Rosie. Well, I was just hoping she would turn. Rosie. Come on. Get up there. Come on. Or not. She gets up there any other time. Who shared a video? Oh. Yeah. Sorry, my brain is all over the place. Has been. I haven't slept much lately. Tuesday going into Wednesday, I slept like 2 hours. I actually got like 5 hours yesterday, which is about normal for me, but I took a 5 hour before starting this because, you know, if I'm tired, I'll start dozing during the stream, and I don't want to do that anymore. I was already yawning at the beginning. I was talking for a good hour alone, just spilling different ideas I've had about the podcast I've been wanting to do for like 5 fucking years, and just various stuff, because I want to do more just chattings. It's just people don't come in because they have lives and other things as often, or at the beginning, or whatever, you know. So because I don't want to just I like playing games. Playing games makes me feel good and relaxes me, but also talking to you guys makes me feel good and relaxes me a lot of the time. But at least it records this so I can go back and watch it and write down the ideas that I had and the ones that I came up with while talking for a couple of different things I have or planned. Yeah, she looks wore out. Like this is gonna put me to sleep. I'm supposed to do some Fortnite duos later, so I'm gonna take a nap when I'm done here shortly. Because that's why I drink those, is it helps me sleep. Come get it. I'm gonna have to look at Nightbot, because it's, and me 6, because their spam filters are a little out of control. Excuse me. Yeah. Well, like, me 6 will Me 6 will also tell people stop spamming when it's auto posting somebody going live on TikTok or Twitch. It's done that before, which has gotten really annoying. There's a couple of things I need to go in and fix and commands I need to make. I believe Ivy, your child, has posted a suggestion for a new room in the Discord for like people that cosplay, so they can show off their cosplays, and I think that's a phenomenal idea as we try to grow again. Scotty Fitness. He's live. Now that I'm back to doing this and trying to be more business oriented for various things, whether it be the audiobooks and the narration, streaming, hence me streaming on multiple platforms, I would like to get back into that rhythm
and trying to grow everything a little more. Not just for me, for us, for everybody. But yes, I do have my own reasons because my business and making money and all that. But we can go back to getting people in here that we like and that like to talk to us and or game with. As soon as I finish this, I may stream Fallout 76. I'm not sure yet. I might do it like once a month or once every 2 weeks. Um, yeah. Uh, but get back to like us playing Mario Kart together, or when I maybe stream me and my girlfriend and my son playing Fortnite together, or anything else. I probably won't do a story run on anything like I am here once I finish it. I was thinking about going back and playing it a couple of times to get the different endings. I'm not gonna do that. That's a good idea. Yeah, I would say we do a daily cap. Actually, probably a weekly cap, but a daily cap of like 3 or 4, um, depending. We might adjust that for like events. Like, say they go to Comic Con and there's going to be a lot more pictures. We might want to see if there's a way to adjust that, or we can keep track of it and adjust it accordingly for those weekends. But that could also go under other another thing on its own. Who's sick? Who's sick? What's wrong with him? Is his stomach acting up now too? Oh no. That means he's probably not going to go to school tomorrow. If he's got a fever, but that means you can sleep in. Uh, have him sleep in and you sleep in, and I don't know. Well, he said he woke up early. Maybe he just needs some sleep. Actually, since he got up at what 12:30, you said. Oh, maybe when he goes to bed and gets some good sleep after eating, that'll help him. I maybe a good hot warm shower help him sweat it out. But if he doesn't have a fever when he wakes up and they don't know he had a fever, but okay, that's your kid, your call. And I get it because he could technically still could be contagious within those 24 hours. It's low, but he can. So I guess, see, I take a hot shower and it helps my mind go away. Yeah, I know. Like I said, technically he could still be contagious, especially at those ages. Um, See, I take hot showers when I have fevers because a lot of times it'll help me sweat it out or break it. It does help my body re-regulate itself. But that's just me. That's why I say that. Or a hot bath. Well, then I guess that means y'all get to sleep in tomorrow. Or not and drag him around to go do Spark. Yeah, well, I'm not typical. Because I'm not going out tonight to DoorDash, so when we do our duos, I will probably go to bed right after because I'm going to be tired. I was already fighting to stay awake while driving earlier. I took a 5 hour before this, so that was at 4 o'clock. So it's going to dive off at like 9 or 10. So between 10 and 11, I'm going to be done. So yeah, by the time we finish our duos, I'm going to be ready for bed anyway. And hopefully this will get me back on a right track for my sleeping schedule. And then I can get up tomorrow, do some job searching, go dashing, come home, run duos with you, maybe go back out after that on Friday night, Saturday morning. God damn. Fucking. Oh, hang on, babe. I've been meaning to send you this. In case you want anything else to play. Yes, it is. And I normally turn the volume down. I forgot to for the stream. Just in case. Or, like, literally, when I get done here, the only reason I'm leaving is I'm almost out of cigarettes. When I go grab some cigarettes, I wish it was cold as fuck outside. What is it here? 79 degrees. Yeah. Hell, it wasn't even cold in November. Not really. I think honestly, it was cold-ish in December. It got cold for some of January and February, barely. No, it really didn't. Not you falling asleep. Okay. Hmm. Oh, damn. I bet. Oh, shyster. Yeesh. I wouldn't know. I mean, I got sick when I first got in the Marine Corps and they thought I had Crohn's, but I didn't. And, wouldn't know about the pregnancy thing at all. If so, there would have to be some serious conversations. And I would need to have a serious conversation with someone to find out why. That's the thing. I mean, somebody would have a serious conversation to tell me that it happened, and then I'd have to have a serious conversation with somebody, God, my parents, something, to go, what the hell is going on? How the hell did that happen? Was it like twins was artificially inseminated? I mean, and if you've never seen the movie Twins, I'm sorry. And I can't believe they're working on a sequel, or they thought about it, something. Mm-mm. Not Twins, Junior. Sorry. Same acting duo, different situation. Twins, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito. They are long lost twins, part of a science experiment, artificial insemination, all that. They meet up, go to find their mom because they were both given up for adoption, separated. They never knew each other, found each other on accident or something. Junior, they're both scientists, and they artificially inseminate Arnold Schwarzenegger. So he's getting pregnant through the whole movie, or he's pregnant through the whole movie. So yeah. '90s, when Schwarzenegger was trying to get away from action and into more drama, comedy, mainly comedy. He did a lot of that stuff, and they were good, especially for the time. That's when he got into Kindergarten Cop and some of that other stuff, just trying to get away from, Terminator and Commando and Conan, which was all the things that he was really known for in the 80s and 90s. Oh, Lord. Yeah, you should have lived it. It was weird. Kind of. It was kind of weird. It was very weird. That was where a lot of changes happened, which is the big. Yeah, well, everything changes anyway, but like the '60s and '70s were kind of similar. The '30s, '40s, '50s were all kind of similar, minus the depression and the recovery. The '80s were a big change. The '90s were even bigger change. A lot of it being, especially culturally with music, in those two eras. It kind of started in the '70s with the introduction of harder rock and metal. Black Sabbath really started up in the '80s with the glam rock and more metal, and then in the '90s, the different types of metal started to come out. It wasn't just heavy metal, it was death metal, thrash metal, heavy metal. The same thing with movie genres. They started not just being comedies or dramas or actions. They started blending different genres with like action comedy or comedy drama. A lot more when it came to film and stuff during that '90s time frame, and then later on, they did it even more, especially with the music. In the '90s, you also started getting like alternative and garage grunge and all that. So, a lot of aspects really started to change a lot more in the '90s, and settled down a lot in the 2000s. Um, and then social norms changed a lot because self-expressionism really started to show more in the '80s. In the '60s, '70s, you had the love movement, and then the disco and the bell bottoms and all that tie-dye. But in the '80s, you started getting that glam and rock metal, different looks, along with more in the hip hop scene, and then you have Michael Jackson and the pop thing. So the whole self-expression changed a lot then, and it really hit in the '90s with punk and grunge, those looks, and the skaters really started to come to the forefront. It started in the '80s, but really came out really came about heavy in the '90s. So that a lot of American culture at least changed. Or internationally it changed too because of that similar things, but those were the visible markers, I guess, those were a lot of the visible markers that changed, that were more measurable. Of course, in the '80s, you had the fall of communism. Not really, the fall of the the Berlin Wall, and then but in the '90s, you had the first Iraq Desert Storm, Desert Shield, which was another change. And while it only lasted a couple of days, really started to lean back into the American political military system. Not trying to get political, just stating an observation on that. Yeah, I don't. Oh yeah, bell bottoms. I got it. Sorry, took me a second to realize. What do you mean rubber bands? Got it. Um, and then of course, in the 2000s with 9/11, which brought a lot of positive, and then that fell into negative. The whole we united because of 9/11 and that, then the de-evolution of what happened because of what happened also. So it's, God, I have a lot of flies in my house. I don't know how the fuck they've gotten in here. I've got fly traps, and they multiply like nothing fucking else, and it's driving me fucking crazy. I'm gonna have to go get more. Matter of fact, I need to ask my girlfriend the one she uses. I got one of those plug-in lights that have the sticky traps on it, and it's got a couple, but I've seen bigger ones that catch a lot more, and I need to find that one and get like 5 of them. Because how open my dining room, kitchen, living room is, and then this room too, most of them are either in the dining room or in the living room. So I need to get like at least one per room so I can get rid of these motherfuckers. But I'm gonna probably grab lemons also and toss them down in my garbage disposal to help get rid of anything there and clean them up and get rid of the smell, any smells that might be lingering there. Especially from when it was out of service for like a month and a half. See, I'm jumping around on topics like nothing else. It's just like, it was this, now it's this, but there it is now. Oh, you can't tell I have ADD. Yay, my parts are on the way. So I can fix my truck. See, when I was growing up, we called it ADD, and ADHD was same but different. Because I wasn't hyper. That's the thing. I wasn't. Now they just can all consider it ADHD. I think they got rid of the ADD and just, it's all ADHD now, from what I understand, but whatever, doesn't matter. Same fucking thing. It's just because everything in ADD is in ADHD also. So, like any diagnosis, you don't always have to have all the symptoms to be considered a thing. So they say it's ADHD regardless if you're hyper or not. Anyway, it's going everywhere. Jack,
Yeah?
do the litter box.
No?
Do that before you bathe,
Okay.
because that's kind of dirty. Kids.
I heard that.
Okay, and
What did I do?
nothing, just saying kids.
So then you don't get to say that. Never mind.
Oh. Yeah, I got pulled over Saturday. And Ivy, you know what's going on. I'd gotten my license fixed, or at least I thought so. I paid the unpaid ticket that it, got a letter set, with the release on my license, all this. Got pulled over Saturday. My license is still showing suspended. I called Georgia yesterday. Turns out, not only did I have to pay the ticket and the court fine, now I have to pay Georgia Department of Driver Services $100 to get my license reinstated. I have never had to do that before, ever. and because I've had my license suspended a couple of times for various reasons. I've never had to do that before. Luckily, the cop said, "Hey, man, you said you got this taken care of. You got anything?" And so I had the email with the release and everything. So he let me go without a ticket. Pulled me over because my headlight's missing from the accident. I just ordered the parts while we were sitting here. So, I'll get to that in a second. So I can fix that because I don't have a headlight. So the new headlight assembly and all the things that I need to put that in, I just ordered. Not everything to repair the truck, but at least that. Pay that off, and then I'll order a new fender so I can open my passenger front door. It got suspended. No, it's fine. I got a ticket before I moved here, and the company vehicle, when I was had that job doing the exterminator thing, they were supposed to send somebody because we had dash cam footage showing that it wasn't my fault. It was a ticket for blocking traffic when the two cars ahead of me wouldn't move, even though he could, and kept me and another guy who got pulled over tickets for blocking traffic when he would, but it was his fault, but we got pulled over. But the company had video evidence, and I moved, so they were going to send somebody, because they have a special department or fund for legal things, especially when it's involved in work. They were going to send somebody to the court with it, argue on my behalf to get it fixed. They didn't do it since I no longer work there. They didn't care. I didn't know. So my license got suspended for failure to appear in court for that traffic violation. So when I did something stupid back at the end of February, beginning of March, I found out. Actually, I knew a little bit before that. When I tried to get my license updated, I just didn't have the money to fix it yet. Because it was like $187, and I'm already living very tight, hence why I have to DoorDash all the time, with a full-time job. So I didn't have the money, and my taxes came in right after all the stupid shit I did, so I had the funds to do so. So I thought I fixed it. If I'd known I had to pay state of Georgia too, I'd have done it then. So I'm a little aggravated about that one. So now I've got to make that money up, on top of not having a job and just door dashing a lot. But I've discovered, especially on weekends, door dashing about 5 days a week at the optimum times, I make as much in a week than I would bring home from my last job. I make between $650 to $750 a week. Now, remove $100 or maybe $150 for gas, but still, that's not bad, especially when I work when I'm more comfortable in the evenings, and with how hot it is here, it's better in the evenings to work. Yeah, but I have to pay taxes on that at the end of the year, in theory. Since most of it's tips, not really, but that's a whole different thing. I'd still rather have a day job like my last one, which I'm going to call them tomorrow, because I'm rehireable. I was rehireable like 2 or 3 weeks ago. So I reapplied. I found an email to the recruiter, or from the recruiter who hired me originally with my last job. I'm going to call them back because they didn't have my position available, because they only have it available at certain time frames right before they hired for the training. I'm going to call and say, hey, look, I got terminated back in the beginning of March. I'm rehireable. I still have my equipment because I was hoping to get back on. Can you do something for me? Can you see about, pulling up, or because I filled out for the regular call center, can you see if you can get me back in to that department where I was? And if so, granted the pay's not great, but I sit at home. I'm not burning gas. And I can still DoorDash after. but I'm also finally finished with the audiobook. Want to get on some more projects like that because once those get published, that's passive income. Now, it's not a lot. As of today, I've had 6 books, audiobooks, purchased as of my last check early before I started this at, let's say, an average of, I think, $15 a piece for members or credits. I want to say split in half between us and Audible, and then you split that half in half between me and the author. I'm not sure how that split goes. I don't know if it's in thirds or half, then half again. I'll have to ask AJ, because she'll know. But still, $6, we'll say $5 on the upper side per. So, what, $36 or $30 right now. If it takes off and I can get some traction, I'm trying to post on socials about it, push it, but I haven't been super active, so the algorithm doesn't push it. I'm going to work on that. Plus, I want to get more done. That will be passive, so on and so forth. Plus doing this, but this haven't provided money for me in a year, because I haven't had, especially after I took that break. I was saying earlier, when I took a break to move here, get settled, I haven't had the same traction streaming as I used to. Even with the added day, you know, I used to average about 4 or 5 people per stream, sometimes 6 or 7. Now I'm lucky to get 2 or 3. Yep, there's Wozy. Finally in the chair I was trying to put her in. And I don't get subs, which is fine, but whatever. Hoping to get this back going and maybe get better at this more and build that community and all that. And like we're talking about, to get better at it and build up any kind of thing that will help make more income while I still work. Also fighting with the VA. I'm juggling. Not really. I mean, I could be juggling. Should be. Whatever. I'm not juggling because I don't have a day job. I'd like to. I would like to have to juggle because of that added day job. Sorry, flies. But I have a lot of shit to catch up on too, so I'd rather have that juggle as long as I'm making money off of it. To help catch up. Even if I don't make money off of this or what have you, not like I ever really made a lot of money. I do this more because I enjoy it. That's why I was saying earlier I'd like to do more just chattings like this. Do some video reacts eventually. Or in the Discord you can post a video to me to react to, whether it be on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, what have you. Me and my girlfriend are talking about some couples content eventually. You know, like we saw one where husband and wife, the husband has never had biscuits and gravy. And so it was a react to him having it for the first time. And like we always talk about these foods that I have that she's never had or vice versa. And TV shows and movies that I like that she's never watched and vice versa. So like doing the reacts to the food and then a before and after for a movie and maybe the first couple episodes to a season of a TV show. That one is because she loves New Girl. I've watched a couple episodes. I'll watch a lot more whenever we get the chance. But you know, before and after thoughts of each. That's what I mean by couples content, not the illicit kind. Excuse me, I'll be right back. explicit, not the explicit kind, or illicit. Either or. Pick your poison on that word, on the wording. People would pay us not to watch it. I don't want Jack Daniels, but not really. My girlfriend knows. I had some last Friday because of an anniversary, and I discovered I don't want it anymore. Oh, hey, baby. Welcome back. Never. What I was just saying. Yeah, you're right. I don't, like I was just saying. I don't even really want to get drunk anymore, like I said. I told you that the other night. That's fair. It's just fermented apple juice. Well, I mean, that's all wine is fermented grapes. Hey, babe, that bug trap you've got, the light, because I've got flies everywhere now for some fucking reason. I got one from Walmart, but I think yours is better. Do you remember the brand and where you got it? Like I had one or two, not even a week ago, and now they're fucking everywhere. I know some of them are getting in when I go in and out, but I hate flies. I'm tempted to buy a bug zapper and just leave it in the fucking house. Zevo, I think that's the one I got. I have it by the back door. I need to get another one for the living room. It's got flies on it. Not as many as I've seen. There's other ones that do that. Because I've told you about it when I was the exterminator. There was one that was bigger, and it was covered in flies with a couple of houses. That was that good. I just wanted to find, I guess, that one. Well, I'll keep it anyway. I need to find fly paper or something for the flies. I like I said, start off with like one or two, three, and now they're fucking horrible, and I'm about to go nuts. So I may this weekend I'm gonna definitely go to like Home Depot. I looked at Walmart. That's where I got the light. I'll go to Home Depot and see what they got for flies. And I think I know what it is Jack had, well, some of it. Not Jack. I know. That's what I'm afraid of. Part of it is I've already planned on this weekend, or throughout the next couple of days, just cleaning heavily. Because I haven't mopped lately, and I need to anyway. I've swept, just not mopped. Syrup had gotten on the top, that thing that for the top of the garbage can, the lid portion, where the lid clicks, and so it kept it was sticky, and I'm willing to bet that's what they're attracted to. I cleaned it and everything, but it's too late. That's why I said I'm tempted just to get a bug zapper, because they'll just go to that bug zapper, and once they're all dead and it gets caught up, it's done. If I didn't have the animals, I'd just fog the house. And I still could, I just have to put them in the garage for a while. So I might do that while it's cool, or still cool, like do it at night, because you have to let it sit for like 2 hours. Just put them in the garage for a couple hours, while I take Jack door dashing or something, and just fog the fucking house. Yep, definitely. Um, so yeah, I might do that this weekend or next weekend, depending. Um, Probably next weekend. So because I got the parts on the way for the truck now. So I can have a headlight and not worry about getting fucking pulled over. Because it won't be until like Monday or Tuesday. So yeah, I might like early evening. Me and Jack go out for like 2 or 3 hours in DoorDash, keep it up, put Rosie and Tiggy out in the garage. Yeah, I hope he feels better. Hopefully, getting some sleep tonight will help. Um, Tell him because he feels bad, even when he wakes up, stay in bed. Unless he's getting some water, stay in bed. Don't wake up. Don't get up. So he doesn't bother you. Sorry. Um, but yeah, I can move the dog bed out there since they both lay on it. Um, and what have you. Yeah, but he hardly ever stays home too, so. I think he's stayed home twice this year so far. And then, but after I do that, the fogging I can clean because I'll have to clean anyway, to wipe shit off the counter and what have you, and do the floors and all that. So say 6 to 9 maybe. Come back at 8. Pop some of the windows open to air it out. Then 9 o'clock, it should be turn on the fan. Should be aired out. Come back and clean. That sounds like a plan. Now I just have to remember to get the stuff to fucking do it. You fell asleep. Oh. Um. Oh, I bet. Like I said, I'm tired. I'm not gonna dash again tonight, so I'm drinking those. I'm gonna fix it and this because I should have ended it at 7. But like I said, I want to do more just chatting, not just gaming. And now that I've got a better audio thing going now, once I get that other thing, okay, baby. Let me know when you're ready for duos because I'm about to end this and I'll be ready for duos whenever. Okay? I love you. Yeah, like I said, I'm about to end this. So, with that, good night, everyone. I will see y'all probably Sunday. I say probably because depending on finances, I might just DoorDash that night. That's more important at this point. So, good night, sleep tight, have fun, and I will see you next time. feel free to subscribe to all the different socials, including here, and enjoy your nights.